as I was saying, because groups, users and user groups are global, where they must stay with those names. Because the next tables we're going to create, because they're specific to this space, we're going to prepend it with RD. You don't have to, it's just for ease of reading in your database. If you're going to have multiple bases, then you can easily know which ones are which. Okay, so RD, and then we're going to have, first of all, we're going to create situation categories, situation categories. Okay, cool. Now we have a sub subfield, or sorry, sub element of this object, which is called fields. And that contains these fields here. Now, what I want to do is we're going to keep ID. That's pretty much relevant to everything. All things will basically have this in some form or the other. Then this, we need a description. So we need a varchar. So I'm going to open groups, copy this one here. It's also got an important field here, which we might look into later. So I'll just copy this, and then we can paste that in here. We can remove this one, but I'm not going to call it name. I'm going to call it description. And so this is our situation categories. It's got an ID and a description. Okay, it's also going to have, so it's those are the fields, but it's also going to have items. Items is basically, when it comes to relational databases, databases can be related in that some tables have children, tables can have child tables, and the child tables will then, of course, have a corresponding parent table. So we define this as if a table has a child table, we will add this, or child tables, or one or many, we will add this sub-element called items. Then, I'm just going to delete the second item in the example. Then the key of the sub-element of this items will be the child table name, and then the value will be the child table's foreign key that relates back to this parent table. Okay, so I'm just going to create the other table, start creating it, which is going to be called situations. Copy that, the table name, and then we're going to get a foreign key example, which we can get in user groups here, like user ID. So then we're going to make sure that situations has a foreign key, which we're just going to call it RD situation category singular. Then we copy that and put that here, because that's the foreign key. Okay. So now we've created a situation categories and situations, and shown how situations are a child, and how they're a child, how they relate back. Just remove that trailing comma. Now we can, so that's fine. I only really need ID description and the foreign key for situations. So now I'm gonna just duplicate that, and we're gonna have opinions. So every situation has relevant opinions. Opinions. Okay, so opinions is, so we got, okay, cool. So opinions is a child of situations. So we're going to add that here. The foreign key here will be RD situation. RD situation. Singular.